Welcome back to News 3 Today. He started out as a spoken word artist. Now Eric Bailey is in it for the laughs. The comedian has performed all over Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina, and he's hoping to bring more attention to stand-up comedy here in our area. He joins us now with more. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So I guess my first question to you, because the last time I saw you were doing spoken word, I think it was at the Muse years ago.
A while ago.
Yeah, a while ago. Now comedy, how did that happen and why?
Well, for a while I was hosting. You know, I was helping with hosting the shows, and I had a guy that used to come to a lot of the shows and sign up on the open mic, and he was like, "You should try stand-up." And so I just tried it out one night, and you know, I probably went to shows for a couple months before I tried it out, and tried it out one night and went really well. And you know, I've struggled after that.
Yeah.
You know, you go through the ups and downs, you bomb some nights, but it was that first one was kind of hooked me.
Yeah, and you said it's all about controlling the audience. What's the most difficult part about being a stand-up comedian?
The most difficult part, I think, is definitely like just not taking yourself too seriously. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're gonna have nights where, you know, maybe you just weren't doing as well, or whatever that you were saying wasn't, you know, hitting that night, and just not taking, you know, just kind of taking it with stride and just learning that, you know, it's a part of it.
Yeah, so far you've been very successful. You sent us some clips of some of the shows that you've been doing, because you've done shows all over the area. You started, what, about 3 years ago, so you're still fairly new at this.
Very new, very new. For a comedian, 3 years is like nothing.
Yeah.
So going on 3 years, yeah, we started our show at Eclipse downtown Savannah. As of next week, it'll be 1 year. So we'll have our year anniversary of having that show. And I kind of just have creative control to do whatever. So I was like, I want to incorporate some music because I'm a huge live music fan. And so I had a number of my friends on the shows. We've kind of played around with having music and comedy in the same space, which I think is a very fun thing for the crowd.
How did you know I was going there? I was going to ask you about the music aspect, because
We've done this enough times.
Yeah, we're like this, okay?
Okay,
yeah. So, but you said that music and comedy are really alike.
Very much so. It's I feel like comedy is an art form where the crowd is your instrument, and so music goes really well with it, because I think anyone can relate to music. So, you know, if you get music in a show and people are nodding their heads and rocking with the crowd, and I think mixing that with comedy is just, you know, all around a good time.
Yeah, they both bring people together.
100%.
So let's talk about this weekend, because you have two shows, one here, one on Tybee Island, one in Statesboro.
Right, so Statesboro's on Saturday, Tybee Island's on Sunday, and we're doing the same thing. We're going to have some stand-up acts, me and another Savannah comedian, and I'm also bringing a guy down from Augusta, and some local guys as well are going to be like a house band set up as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and you know, you can definitely get tickets. I'm kind of doing a thing right now where if people send me on Instagram, if they send me that they've like invited a bunch of friends, then I'm more than willing to give out a free ticket for, you know, people who've like brought friends.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So let's talk about you producing shows, because you said that you've produced a number of shows at various venues, but your goal is to introduce more people to the art form of comedy, because, you know, years ago we had a comedy club here in Savannah, you know, but now it's kind of dwindled down. There are a couple of places that still do comedy, but you want to make it more mainstream.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's a need for it. You know, you go to a lot of other cities and they have comedy clubs, like you mentioned, and there isn't anything like that here. You can go to Johnny Mercer Theater or the N-Market Arena to see Adam Sandler, you know, when he comes in town, but in terms of kind of a middle ground between that and like a open mic at a bar, there isn't really much of it, you know. So I figured it would, you know, instead of just kind of wanting it to happen, I figured we'd make it happen. And so, you know, it's been a lot of fun. The process is kind of, you know, there's some ups and downs in there, and trying to work with other people, but it's a blast, and the city needs it. You know, I mean, we're all kind of, feel like a lot of people are mad at each other, and it's therapeutic to get around each other and just laugh at ourselves, you know what I mean?
Great way to end this interview. And if you'd like to see Eric Bailey perform this weekend, he'll be at the Emma Kelly Theater at the Averett Center for the Arts. That's in Statesboro. That starts at 8 o'clock. And then on Sunday at Tybee Island, you will be at the Tybee Post Theater at 7 p.m. Bring your friends, get your laugh on, and enjoy some nice music.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Thanks a lot for joining us today.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.